I feel
Okay.
great. I feel great.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. But let's get into your weekend because you
Yeah,
had
my
a
weekend. Yeah.
fun-filled weekend. Okay. So let's
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah, yeah. My weekend
to.
was the complete opposite of yours. Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
complete
Start us
opposite.
off. Start us off.
Yeah, so this past weekend, I had the opportunity to attend the inaugural Daddy Stroller Social Club Men's Retreat. Right, this is a 101. Man, shout out to Calvin Bridgewater, shout out to Carmen Bridgewater. Man, this is something that they made happen. Because Calvin, he is the founder of the Daddy Stroller Social Club, and he was talking to his wife, and he was like, this is something that I want to do, and she said, well, let's start here, okay? And then I closed my eyes. I clicked my heels 2 times. And then with my red shoes on, like Dorothy, I ended up in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Brittany,
Oh.
when I tell you it was just, rental houses on top of rental houses out here,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Okay, so look,
No.
so
Finish.
yeah.
Rental
So
house.
we got out there, man. You just see all these dads, all the you, you see all these dads out here, man. And it's dope because I had the opportunity, you and I had the opportunity to shoot some of them and shoot some content at a stroll a little while ago. But then I didn't really get to connect with none of the dads. So at this particular weekend, we had the opportunity, and that's Chef Burns there. Shout out to Chef Burns in the
Okay.
back, the chef. But I had the opportunity to be able to, sit with some of the guys one on one and talk with guys like a gentleman named Will, who I told you he worked us through this dynamic stretch and
Mhm.
workout situation poolside, which is pretty dope. We had our Brooks on, shout out to Brooks. They were sponsors, and they made sure that every man had a pair of the new
Yeah,
Ghost
that's so
17s.
cool.
Yeah. So we did that, and then there was another gentleman there by the name of Kelvin, and he was the one who just he really poured into me over the weekend. But Britt, another thing that we got to do
Uh huh.
was we were fireside. So we were posted up by the fire, and then
Ah, s'mores and
there
graham crackers
we
and chocolate.
have you ever had s'mores with Reese's? Well, do you
I've
like
never
Reese's?
had. I don't like s'mores because the mushroom just. Ugh. I'm sorry. I don't want to ruin the story. Keep going,
See,
man.
there
Let
you
it
go.
rock
And
for me.
I never. You
I
crazy.
don't like it. I've already had it.
Oh, I
I've already.
forgot. I forgot. Yeah, we got there first night. While we're
I've been
eating
going to
dinner.
fifth grade camp. Huh?
Then they had the cigars going. Some guys was posted up on the patio with the cigars happening, and sipping some liquid libations or whatever you may have you.
Love liquid
But
libations.
we were down by the fire pit,
Uh
and
huh.
we was around there, and then brothers were just sharing like where they are in their life, and we were just pouring into one another, right? Some
Lovely.
some brothers might be married, some might not, and they're trying to navigate, like what's the next move for themselves and for their family.
Mhm.
And we're just talking through it together. We got Damani, who's down there, who's a counselor, a therapist, but then we got other brothers who, just are married men, are
Right.
fathers,
Yeah.
and we're masterminding. But Britt, them ATVs,
Uh
riding
huh.
them ATVs, and then
Yeah.
look, boom, look at that, crazy. Everybody got out, as you can see. The majority. Oh, look at brother Speaking Success shirt
Okay.
on right
Speaking
there. Yeah, with his
success.
Saints pajamas on. Yeah. Oh, but when I tell Britt, when I
Oh.
tell you
Okay.
that what was it? The French toast.
Uh huh.
Ooh, that chicken. When I tell
You
you,
had a
chicken
barber
got a
there
good
too?
crunch.
Dang.
There was a barber there. He
Okay.
was attending, but he was like, "Hey, y'all, I'm gonna be down there. So if y'all want to if you want to get a cut, let me know." So we had like a in the shop type situation set up
Oh,
too.
that fool look okay. Good job. We doing
Oh,
the same, praying.
I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't even know you was in
Oh, I didn't
that.
even know that. I didn't know I was in
Okay.
that one. Yeah, I didn't know. Well, look, he posted it right there, fireplace
Okay.
side. Yeah, brothers eating s'mores
Wow.
and chopping it up. But yeah, that what you saw when I was praying, that was the final dinner that we
Mhm.
had together, and we all sat at the table. They had wine set out there for us, and nice little plated
Beautiful.
situation. But
Man,
yeah, had some
damn.
Brussels sprouts, had some
Uh-huh.
had that pork
Uh-huh.
sitting on a bed of mashed potatoes,
Okay.
and I had a little garden salad. It was cool though. It was really 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 good because Brit,
Mhm.
the majority of these guys didn't like they've never been to a Daddy Stroller social event. I thought it was gonna be the majority
Oh.
that have been. never been to an event. Some of the guys' wives signed them up, and they said it like when we talked and had our conversation, to where we're doing like it was like barbershop type talks, because when the
Mm-hmm.
barber was cutting, who that's Brandon Shaw, shout out to him. He was cutting, then other guys was going around talking because there was a newly married gentleman there. Britt been married
Ah,
2 weeks. Been
two
married
weeks.
2 weeks. Yes,
Okay.
been married 2 weeks, and one of those things that typically happens is, when when guys are getting married, if their circle isn't married, or they don't have married people in their circle, then people say, oh, the ball and chain, or they have all these other things that they joke about. But
Uh,
this was dope because in this space, and man, shout out to Meyer for the content that he got here. But in this space, guys were celebrating him. Guys were dapping him up. Guys were saying, man, congratulations, big deal.
uh-huh.
And then that was how the barbershop conversation started, because we're like, okay, we got guys 14 years married, 20 years married. Like, what would you say for this gentleman, whose name is Justin, who just got married? Like, how can we pour into him? And then
Mm-hmm.
we just started talking and then got into it, man. But
Wow.
phenomenal weekend, like recharging. There was some
Lovely.
laughs, there was some tears.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot of laughs though, lot of laughs, some tears. We watched some of the games in there, but
I
it was
saw,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
conversations though. It was a lot of conversations going on, and it was good fun, man. So yeah, shout out to the Daddy Stroller Social Club, whatever state you're in. If you
Uh-huh.
do not have a Daddy Stroller Social Club in your state, well,
Uh-huh.
just let us know at Daddy Stroller Social Club on Instagram, and more than likely you might have a chapter and just might not know it. Cause
Mm.
Britt, they coming. They in
Yeah.
Seattle. They in
Yeah, they got
Houston. They in
Atlanta, Chicago,
Atlanta,
Cleveland.
uh,
I don't know.
Oklahoma.
Okay.
That they out
DMV,
here.
Dallas, Houston, LA,
They out
Memphis,
here.
Oakland,
Say, yeah, they out here,
Oklahoma,
man.
STO, St. Louis. All right, all
Yeah,
right, all right.
yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Them things growing like a
Wow.
good muscle. You understand
So,
me? Growing like a good muscle.
what was one of your takeaways from the weekend?
Yeah. So one of the takeaways was that wherever you are in marriage, or wherever you are as a father, right,
Uh-huh.
there is something that you can pour into somebody else, right? Because
Mm,
so often we'll be like, what I'm just doing, this is regular routine, and nobody can benefit from this.
gotcha.
But yeah, there's opportunity there wherever you are. So that's one takeaway. I'll give you one more,
Okay.
and then another one I would say is that we talked about having intentional guilt free days, right? To where
Explain
you
that.
have some. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Come
You want
on
more
with it, Monday
information?
moment.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. Okay. So intentional guilt free day is that where like I would get time to recharge. I would communicate with
Mm.
Gabby, my partner, that hey, I need a day to where I can recharge, I can relax, and I don't have the kids, right? So just
Ah.
scheduling that out and
Mm-hmm.
planning that out to where ultimately I'll be able to, mentally recharge. So when I come back, I'll be fresh. And then, I can hop in and I can do what I need to do. And then, create that same
Yeah.
space and for her to reciprocate as well, to where she can, get a guilt free day as well. But it's
Lovely.
intentional.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what was a high point? What was a low point?
Man, okay. High point was really just the conversations, because
Okay.
I didn't have the opportunity to
Love a
talk with
good
a lot of
talk.
these guys,
Nothing loves
but
a good talk.
you know, the high point was the conversations, being able to listen, being able to learn. The low point was I had to skip out a little bit early to get back for church, because they were on a hike on Sunday morning. They did a men's
Mm.
hike, and that was one of the gifts that we got. We got some hiking shoes, so they was out here
Ah.
doing a man's hike, doing a brotherhood thing,
Ah, you go
going through
back.
that struggling well together,
Mm-hmm. In the
which
wilderness.
yeah, which brings you closer together. But that was the downside for me. Didn't get the
Okay.
opportunity to go on the hike, but
So how was
yeah,
the
man.
sleeping arrangements with all the
Yeah, so the sleeping arrangements you might have seen in the video with Meyer. He went around and there's like bunk beds, and never in my life have I seen 4 bunk beds stacked up, but it was like 4 beds on top of each other, and you're gonna see here in just a second. But it was 4, 6, 4, 8. I think it was 16 beds on one side in the room.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah. So it was those bunk beds.
Were they full size beds?
Yeah,
Did
I mean, I could fit. Like I can fit just barely, but I believe it was a full size. I believe it was.
Like a extra large twin or a full size bed?
Oh, probably like an extra large twin. I say like an extra
Mm,
large twin because I mean I fit in it just right. So
gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah. And you know, and for our CPAP listeners, I never knew so many brothers had CPAP machines. I looked over, I said, "Oh, boys in here looking like Doctor Strange with the mask on."
Oh.
Yeah, but you know, our brothers got to breathe, so they had a little outlet right by the bed, had a little baby light by all the beds. So it was a
Wow.
cool situation though.
Okay.
Cool
Got a
situation. We
flat.
ate good. Bread. We riding through. Boom, 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 boom. ATV. I'm like, oh snap. I don't. I'm glad I didn't drive. Okay.
See, this is funny because like if this was women and we got a flat tire, whole day shot. Like what in the world?
Well,
Oh
nah, but
man.
we phoned a friend. We phoned a friend, and the gym was like, if y'all get a flat, give us a call. They got out there like 3 minutes. We had a videographer, photographer with us. Shout out to Justin. He was like, y'all, this is a great time to get some pictures. So we hopped on the we hopped on top of the ATV. We taking pictures. We out there, you know, just chopping it up. So it wasn't bad. It was like maybe a 5 minute wait. And after that,
Uh-huh.
they got us together. We skirted out. But Britt,
All
we got so
right.
confused. We had a map. We was in ATVs for 3 hours. We had a map, and we ended up getting to the highway. We're like, we're not supposed to.
You're not
Not
supposed to be
supposed to
on
see
the
that.
main road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're not supposed to. Mm-mm.
Mm.
Cars zoom by. Zoom,
Right.
zoom. Like, nah, we ain't supposed to take that thing in reverse. But yeah, the ATV was a cool experience, man. And I'm gonna drop some more. I'm gonna drop some ATV POV footage on Speaker Success YouTube,
Okay.
so people can get a feel for that. Going through the puddles, going through the mud, all that, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was off the
Okay.
chain.